Brothers and Revenge. Not all of the Maul and Savage Press ones, but I don't know if a lot of listeners have watched James Arnold Taylor's show that he did called Clone Wars Conversations. I think he did 12 of them, 14 of them. And you see him interviewing a number of different voice actors, from the person who voiced Satine to Phil Lamar to Sam Witwer. And the one I thought about is, I don't know if you guys have, but he interviews Sam Witwer. And when Dave Filoni came to Sam Witwer and talked about how they were going to bring Maul back, Sam's like, that's a really difficult thing to do. And so when I think about those episodes, Brothers, when Savage Press goes to Lothal Minor, finds Spider Maul, and then in Revenge he gets the mechanical legs. I just can see Sam Witwer saying, it's unbelievable that we actually pulled this off, bringing Maul back. Because he says, look, it could have gone horribly wrong trying to bring that character back. So those are a few. Rookies, Holocron Heist, Arc Troopers, Shadow Warrior, and then Brothers in Revenge really stick out to me as just fantastic episodes.
Perfect. Adam, how about you? Any favorite individual episodes from the Clone Wars?
Yeah, there are so many I love. But I guess a couple I'd highlight. One is, let's see, what's it called? The Alina episode with, really, I loved all the R2-D2 and C-3PO adventure episodes, though they're often derided as filler because they don't really add to, mythology of Anakin and Ahsoka and the Force and things like that, but they just exist because they're fun. So I especially love the episode where I guess the Republic has gone to help the Alina, those little reptilian aliens that you see. Mm-hmm. One of them's a pod racer in the Phantom Menace. He's one of the ones that dies, unfortunately. But another one of my favorite aliens. But I love it the way R2 and C-3PO get stuck underground and go on this little adventure and meet all these really strange, outlandish beings down there underground, and it's almost kind of fairy tale-ish. And gosh, I wish would have made action figures of some of those aliens. But yeah, stuff like that was just imaginative and fun. I loved. Another one was that episode where Obi-Wan Kenobi and Quinlan Vos team up, and they're hunting down Zero the Hutt, and Cad Bane is also on his tail, and I guess Zero is working together with Sice Noodles. I think she might have broken him out of jail or something, if I remember correctly. Yep. And they're lovers, and so Zero's got to go, I think it's to Nal Hutta, to his home planet, and he goes to see his mother, Mama the Hutt. And so you get all these really unusual characters all mixed in, tied together in this sordid misadventure. And you get to see an unusual planet that we've heard about in the EU and a lot in video games, I think, but never actually seen, before in Star Wars proper. So that was all a lot of fun. And then it ends with one of I think one of the best duels in the Clone Wars, but maybe one of the least appreciated, between Cad Bane and Obi-Wan and Quinlan Vos, and we get to see Cad Bane's whole arsenal of bounty hunter tricks, kind of like Boba Fett style fighting. And it was just a great imaginative duel that they have, ending sadly with the death of Zero the Hutt. But it was just those really imaginative, unexpected adventures that are peppered throughout the Clone Wars that I really appreciated. And I'm sorely going to miss them, though I guess we get that kind of thing in The Mandalorian now, too, in that same spirit of adventure. So, yeah, lots of good stuff throughout all 7 seasons.
Excellent. And that episode is actually called Hunt for Zero. It was season 3, episode 9, and that was a tremendous episode. And you're right; it's a very underrated fight there at the end with Voss and Kenobi and Cad Bane. Love that. That was a great episode. Great episode. For me, if I'd have remembered, I was going through the list and I must have breezed over that one, or that would have been a part of my list because that was just such a tremendous episode. But for me, some of my favorite episodes, The Box. It's when Obi-Wan Kenobi's undercover and he's trying out for this strike force that Dooku's putting together to find out it's to kidnap and assassinate or kidnap the Chancellor. That was a great episode. Then, of course, I'm a big fan of the Obi-Wan and Satine relationship. Because to me, that relationship between Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Duchess of Mandalore just opened up a whole new side of Kenobi that I didn't know was truly there. So seeing their relationship play out and what was there in Voyage of Temptation, then ultimately in her when she perishes there in The Lawless, are both good episodes. But one of my favorite is literally just a random episode out in the middle of nowhere. It's called Supply Lines. Supply Lines. This episode was a fun episode. Emma Gundy, the Jedi Master, and his Padawan are with their clone troops. They're trapped on Ryloth, and they're waiting for supplies, and they're trying to battle off the droid advance, and ultimately they meet their doom as they're holding off back the droids while the people of Ryloth escape. It's such a great episode, and it shows you the kind of impact that the Jedi were the impact that this war was having on the people of the planets. Not just because we always saw the clones battle, we saw the droids battle, we saw the Jedi battle, but this actually gave us a small glimpse of the impact that it was having on the people itself, who weren't fighting the wars but were being affected by it, the civilians. And I loved that episode. Good episodes. So I mean, we're having a great discussion, great time. But let's wrap this up with some fun stories, memories from over the years that any of us have about the Clone Wars. I'll go ahead and jump this off here with, for me, some of the fun memories I have when it comes to the Clone Wars actually comes from it comes from Star Wars weekends, honestly. Star Wars weekends. Adam, did you ever have a chance to experience Star Wars weekends when Disney was having it?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. I haven't been to one of the Disney parks since the early 90s, I think.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, it's something they don't do anymore. But it was just a fun. It was 4 to 5 weekends each year, usually in May to June. And they would have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'd have completely deck out Hollywood Studios is Star Wars. They had Star Wars characters out for pictures. They had special panels with the celebrities they'd bring in. If you got there early enough, you could get a free autograph ticket and get an autograph from one of these celebrities. It was great. And I actually was, some of my best memories from the Clone Wars come from that event, because I met pretty much the entire cast of the Clone Wars: Kat Tabor, James Arnold Taylor, Ashley Eckstein, D. Bradley Baker, Tom Kane. I met them all right there at Disney, which, meeting anybody at Disney is tremendous. But meeting people like that, I remember the first time I met Ashley Eckstein, Ahsoka Tano. Everybody knows who Ashley is. The first time I went to the Star Wars weekends, it was before I'd even seen anything about the Clone Wars. My friend just was like, "Hey, come to Star Wars weekends with me. I'm going to go see Ashley Eckstein." And I was like, "Who?" "Okay, sure, why not? I'll take a day away from my baby, who was at that point 3, maybe 2 or 3. I'll take a day away from a screaming 2-year-old, and go to Disney, just the guys." And we went, had a good time, and got our free ticket to meet Ashley. Got up to her desk, and she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "You know what? Here's the deal. I have no clue who you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about this show. I'm just here because that guy that you talked to before me, he brought me. I know nothing." Which was probably not the brightest thing to say to a celebrity. I don't know you, but that was one of the things that sold me on this series and piqued my interest in getting to watch it, is because how she reacted to that. Because I did the same thing to James Arnold Taylor, and they both reacted pretty much the same way. They literally put down their pen and sat there and talked to me for what was supposed to be like a 2 or 3 minute, "Hi, how you doing? Here, sign this picture. Let's take a picture." And you go. She sat there for about 10, 15 minutes, gave me the entire background of the Clone Wars series, the background of her character, and just filled me in on what I had missed. And that impressed me so much that she did that when I came back the next time, and still, I met James Arnold Taylor, and I was pretty much the same way. I'm like, "I'm learning about the Clone Wars, but I have no clue who you are, but it looks like you're Obi-Wan." But and he did the same thing. And at that point, I'm like, dude, these people aren't celebrities. They're fans. What am I missing here? And that really got me going into Clone Wars, and really opened up a whole world of fun for me at that point. I remember too, the last Clone Wars, one of the last Star Wars weekends they had a full Clone Wars cast reunion. They had everybody there: Matt, Dee, and Tom Kane, James, Ashley. They were all there. Kat Tabor. I remember meeting Matt Lanter. It was pouring down rain. It was a month. The rain was coming down sideways. It was coming down so hard, and the wind was blowing so bad. And I remember meeting him in that storm, and it was, I looked absolutely terrible. And it was just, it was miserable. And I felt, I was impressed he was still out there signing and meeting the fans in this monsoon. That impressed me wholeheartedly. But man, it was crazy day. Adam, how about you, my friend? What kind of fun stories or memories from over the years of the Clone Wars do you have?
Well, I think the first fun memories are from Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. That was when they had a red carpet premiere for season 5. So I got to see, all the actors up close. I remember, panels with Dave Filoni and Sam Witwer, and Matt Lanter especially. I think that was when Kyle Newman did his first in a series of live radio dramas. So